Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Yeah, we can achieve incredible things with hard work and dedication, and these awesome inventors are the living proof. From their basements and their garages, these extraordinary geniuses will give you all the inspiration you need to kickstart your next projects. That's right, sometimes a hobby can become an obsession, and sometimes an obsession can turn into something amazing. From the 14-year-old who became the youngest person on Earth to build a nuclear reactor, to the guy who made his very own tropical island paradise out of plastic bottles. These are the 15 amazing homemade inventions made by true geniuses.
You can make an electric charge out of trash, do you know that? This is very good to put in the documentary.
Real-life Dr. Octopus suit. This huge Spider-Man fan got his very own Dr. Octopus suit, all thanks to the generosity of the world's youngest Bitcoin millionaire, Eric Finman. What a time to be alive. Yeah, this lover of comics became the recipient of this incredible forearm prosthesis after Finman learned of his hypermobility symptoms. The design and manufacturing process took Finman's team around 6 months to complete, but we're sure it was all worth it in the end to see the smile on this little boy's face. Using 3D printing, the Bitcoin millionaire created 4 flexible tentacles powered by 8 servo motors. A 4-cell lithium motorcycle battery keeps the whole thing running, and most importantly, the suit is nice and light at just 12.5 pounds. Yet Eric Finman, who started investing in cryptocurrency when he was just 12 years old, having inherited $1,000 from his grandma, is now worth around $3 million. We're glad that this ultra-wealthy teen is using his money for good, rather than evil. Luckily, that's something him and the comic book Dr. Octopus don't have in common. Hey, did you know that if you smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, you're more likely to win the lottery? So what are you waiting for? Homemade Lamborghini. Have you ever wished you could own your very own luxury sports car? We know we have. When Ken Imhoff saw a Lamborghini Countach for the first time, he fell in love immediately. But like most people, the astronomical price tag meant that owning this awesome automobile was out of his reach. Instead of giving up on his dreams of one day driving a Lamborghini, he decided to get creative. That's right, this determined mechanic built one for himself from scratch in his basement. He had been working in machine shops since he was 16 years old, so he knew a thing or two about cars, and he decided he would attempt to construct his very own Lamborghini from the comfort of his own home. How hard could it be? Well, this epic project took Imhoff a grand total of 17 years and a whole lot of blood, sweat, and tears along the way. Everything from the frame to the body panels were completely custom made, and every little detail was accounted for. From the tubular space frame chassis to the Ford 351 Cleveland V8 engine, he had actually created the perfect replica of a Lambo. However, there was one small problem: getting the vehicle out of the basement. Yeah, he had to smash a giant hole through his house just to get the thing onto the road. Now that's what we call dedication. Taylor Wilson's nuclear revolution. Taylor Wilson, a 14-year-old from Arkansas, shocked the entire scientific community when he became the youngest person in the world to build a working nuclear fusion reactor. In fact, he's one of only 32 people on the planet to build a DIY nuclear fusion reactor at home by themselves. Not bad for a kid, right? Taylor Wilson was inspired to build this incredible contraption when he learned how expensive it was for people to receive nuclear medicine treatments following the cancer diagnosis of his grandmother. Using her garage as a laboratory, Wilson became one of the only people on Earth to have nuclear technology right at his fingertips, despite being only a teenager. Yet while most teens are busy obsessing over their favorite TV show or band, Taylor Wilson was obsessing over nuclear reactions. Eventually, his inventions would attract the attention of the Homeland Security and Department of Energy. When he moved on to his next project, inventing a system that could detect weapons in shipping containers entering the United States. There's no doubt about it, this kid is a true genius. Richard Sowa's Island. With over 6 billion tons of plastic created over the past few decades, it's crazy to think that we only recycle a tiny 9% of the waste it produces. Luckily, there are people like British artist Richard Sowa, who has come up with an ingenious way to reuse old plastic. Yep, Soa lives on his very own island made entirely out of plastic bottles, and living on a floating island made of trash isn't as bad as it sounds. He actually has his own jacuzzi, internet, air conditioner, a rooftop sun deck, and even an 8-person ferry to transport people to and from the island. Pretty awesome, right? Located near the Mexican island of Isla Mujeres, it can actually be moved around from place to place, and it's pretty much self-sufficient with its own produce garden and solar panels. No rent and no bills. It's the dream. The 8,000 square foot island is made from 100,000 plastic bottles, which are floating inside of fishing nets and held together by mangrove tree roots that grow in between the gaps. So, do you think you could live on this floating plastic paradise? Let us know what you think in the comments. The Thor hammer. Electrical engineer Alan Pan has achieved the impossible and constructed his very own Thor hammer. Yet just like the legendary artifact from the comic books, only the worthy can pick up this super heavy hammer. It was created using electromagnets and a fingerprint scanner, and only Alan Pan knows how to wield it. Made from a microwave transformer electromagnet, the hammer has such a strong electromagnetic pull that when placed on a metal surface, it's impossible to lift. However, built into the handle is a capacitive touch sensor, which switches the magnets on and off. The sensor is linked to Pan's thumbprint, allowing him to lift Thor's hammer, much to the shock and confusion of everyone else around him. It's like the nerdiest prank ever. A video on Pan's YouTube channel, sufficiently advanced, where he tricks passerby who try to lift the hammer, has received over 37 million views online and counting. Must be nice to be the real-life god of thunder, even if just for a few seconds. DIY submarines. Back in 2018, scientist Shani Stopnitsky left her PhD in marine biology to pursue her passion for submarines, and she's never looked back. Yep, she's been collecting old submersibles and renovating them for years, all in the name of spreading her enthusiasm for underwater exploration. In fact, she even founded the Community Submersibles Project in the United States so that other people could feel the same thrill and excitement of being under the water as she does. She claims that she spent an hourly total of a whole year underwater in a submarine and still wants more, describing it as pure magic. She's spent over 9,000 hours in her subs and says she could live down there forever. Her mission is to teach other people how to operate the submarines that she's rehabbed, including a yellow one called Fangtooth and another named Nautiluca. They can go up to 30 feet deep and can sustain 30 minutes of air before rising back up to the surface. So what do you guys think? Would you take a ride in a DIY submarine? Let us know in the comments. Guy builds own Tesla truck. Now, you may have seen a sneak peek of Elon Musk's epic Cybertruck, which is due to come out to the market in late 2021, but one automobile expert decided he couldn't wait longer than that and built one from scratch. Yet a Bosnian company named Stark Solutions spent 8 months taking apart a Ford Raptor F-150 and turning it into a close replica of the much-anticipated Cybertruck. Complete with jagged edges and futuristic body, this fake Cybertruck looks exactly like the real thing. However, there is one big difference. This imposter truck runs on gas, whereas the Tesla Cybertruck will be all electric. When they drove this impressive model in Bosnia, they got a huge reaction from the public. Some people thought it was the real deal from a local Tesla factory, whereas others had no idea what the Cybertruck even was and assumed they'd built an armored tank. Are you a fan of this sleek, futuristic vehicle? Let us know in the comments. Richard Hall's backyard reactor. Richard Hall had a very bizarre hobby indeed. He liked to build electrical transformers that could produce millions of volts, all from the comfort of his garage. Some people spend their spare time in the gym or watching movies, but this guy loved to build Tesla coils. It was his love of constructing these spectacular contraptions that led him to take this hobby to the next level in 1997, when he embarked on his biggest project of all time, building a nuclear fusion reactor in his garage. All he needed was 40,000 volts and a 6-inch sphere, and he was all set. Obtaining an old dentist X-ray transformer to use for voltage and a cheap stainless steel sphere, Hall actually built this extraordinary device at home, creating an electric field so powerful that it could accelerate deuterium ions so hard that they fused together. After a year of tinkering with this mind-blowing gadget, he had harnessed the fuser so that the beams of violet plasma could be sent shining out of the center of the sphere, also known as star mode. Yep, in a relatively short period of time, with little resources, this fusioner had achieved the incredible. This backyard reactor is out of this world. We don't dare ask what his next project is. Pyro Mini Fire Shooter. Yeah, this has to be one of the coolest gadgets of all time. Now make no mistake, this awesome device is not a toy, but it's a whole lot of fun. With the Pyro Mini Fire Shooter, you can actually shoot fireballs right from your wrist. That's right, you can have your very own superpower, all thanks to this miracle contraption. It even comes with a special burst mode, allowing you to shoot 2 fireballs simultaneously. You simply strap this high-end pyrotechnic device to your wrist, and wireless control allows you to fire balls of flames that can travel almost 10 feet. It comes with enough ammunition for hundreds of shots, and its battery can be charged using a USB port. However, with a great power comes great responsibility. The Pyro Mini Fire Shooter comes with some rules and regulations. First, you have to be over 18 to use this device, and you also have to watch an entire safety video before you can actually use it. Come on, safety first, guys, especially when you're playing with fire. We don't want anyone getting burnt now, do we? Rideable suitcase. If you've ever been in a rush to get to the airport, then we've got a feeling you'll appreciate this madcap invention. Yeah, a Chinese farmer named He Liang came up with this genius idea when he forgot his luggage on his way to the airport to catch a flight, and has spent 10 years of developing the final product. That's right, this motorized scooter is about to change your vacations forever. Also known as the Scoot Case, this nifty device can carry up to 2 passengers, cover distances of up to 60 kilometers, and even zoom down the street at a max speed of 20 kilometers per hour, with enough space for all your clothes and belongings. It's powered by a rechargeable lithium battery, and when it's empty, it weighs just 7 kilograms. With 2 small wheels at the back and 1 at the front, the Scoot Case also comes with its own inbuilt GPS system. Not only that, but because it's 100% electric, it also has 0 emissions. That's right, this rideable suitcase is also eco-friendly. So, what do you guys think? Would you ever ride one of these Scoot Cases to the airport? Let us know in the comment section below. Homemade helicopter. Now this is what we call a mega project. Engineer and rotorcraft enthusiast Cameron Carter spent a whopping 12 whole years creating his very own helicopter from scratch. Yet only a genius could create their very own flying machine, and that's exactly what Carter is. The New Zealander shocked everyone when he revved up the V4 engine of this homemade helicopter and actually took off. With a 2-stroke 1600cc engine that has 140 horsepower at the flywheel, Carter had thought of everything. But it wasn't all smooth sailing, and there were many challenges he had to overcome, including figuring out how to fix radiator pressure, thermal siphoning, and overheating. It turns out building a helicopter from scratch isn't as easy as you might think, which only makes this extraordinary feat of engineering even more impressive. However, there were a few people who had concerns about this DIY copter, including the folks over at the Civil Aviation Authority, who strongly advised him to not fly that giant metal contraption. Yeah, we kind of see their point. Real-life Magneto shoes. Ever wished you had superpowers? Well, this one crazy inventor actually built a device that would let him be just like his comic book hero Magneto. Yeah, this X-Men character is famous for his abilities to move metal using only his mind, and plumber Colin Furzay came up with this ingenious way of recreating this superpower in real life. These epic magnetic shoes are so strong that you can actually walk upside down on the ceiling while wearing them, and he dreams of one day developing his invention so that you can scale skyscrapers with them. He used powerful microwave parts and a car battery to build this futuristic gadget, grafting a transformer to a shoe-shaped plate which he could clamp his feet to. The flow of electricity is controlled by switches on the straps, letting him walk on the ceiling. And that's not the only superhero contraption that he has built at his house. Yeah, this British plumber also has constructed a pair of Wolverine claws, complete with 12-inch stainless steel blades. Yikes! We're not so sure that steel is any substitute for adamantium, but we suppose you have to work with what you got. Rubber band machine gun. Playtime just got a whole lot more dangerous. Yeah, this team of Ukrainian students actually invented a weapon that you could have some fun with. We're talking about the rubber band machine gun, a fully automatic machine gun made of birch plywood and powered by a small AA battery-powered engine. It holds up to 672 rubber bands at a time and can fire 200 rounds per minute. Thankfully, the worst injury this homemade gun can do is cause a few bruises. The company describes their insane invention as a destructive force, stating that the rubber band apocalypse is coming, and actually constructed the device according to the official Gatling machine gun principle. You can even order this terrifying toy in a camouflage design. We don't know about you, but we've got a feeling this game is going to end in tears. Ouch. World's greatest Rube Goldberg. Created by Latvian company ScandiWeb, this spectacular contraption has broken the world record for being the largest Rube Goldberg machine ever built, with a whopping 412 steps. So what exactly is a Rube Goldberg machine? Well, it's a device that creates a domino effect using multiple objects in order to reach its end result. If you've ever played the game Mousetrap, then you know what we're talking about. This particular Rube Goldberg was built in honor of the Christmas light ceremony in the Latvian capital of Riga, and included hundreds of parts, from wheels and levers to fans and even a coffee machine. The final step was an ingenious sound meter that required the screams and applause of the audience to trigger it. It took nearly 50 people to build and 2 whole months to organize. The final result? A beautiful illuminated Christmas tree. It really is the most wonderful time of the year. Homemade roller coaster. Summer holidays are great, or at least they are for a couple of weeks, and then we just start to get bored. Yet with nothing to do over this summer break, this super smart teen embarked upon an epic project that was so amazing it actually brought tears to the parents' eyes. Talk about proud parents. Let's face it, you'd probably be proud too if your son constructed his very own roller coaster. 16-year-old Logan Moore created the outstanding wooden roller coaster after being inspired by some bits of wood and piping laying around in the backyard in Kentucky. Yet while other teenagers were playing video games and surfing the web, Moore was actually building a mega structure in his garden. It took him 2 months to finish the one-man coaster, and he would often spend 15 hours a day working on the wooden ride. Its tallest point is 8.5 feet, and it has a top speed of 13 miles an hour, and it's pulled along by a motorized winch powered by a car battery. Logan told reporters that he had taken a carpentry class in school and immediately fallen in love with it. We bet that even his teachers would struggle to build this phenomenal homemade roller coaster. These amazing homemade inventions were created by true geniuses, but which awesome invention was your favorite? You can let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. You can also hit subscribe for more awesome Missing Files content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.